I asked Kristin Turner, a new member of our Christian education ministry leadership team, to testify this morning before all of you. And so Kristin will offer her testimony now.
When Robin says that she asked me, it was last week when she was in like this spiral of church doesn't matter anymore. So she actually said, I need you to testify about why church matters. And so I said, sure, I've actually been to a lot of churches, so I can tell you with certainty that church matters. When I was little, my sister and I went to church with my grandparents at the First Baptist Church in Brewster, New York. There, we got to go to Sunday school and listen to both my grandmother and grandfather sing in the choir. I loved getting to spend quality time with them when they taught us in Sunday school, and I loved seeing them do something that brought them joy. Church matters because you can spend time with your loved ones without the distractions and busyness of the rest of the week. When we weren't at my grandparents' house, we sometimes went to the Methodist Church in Pawling, New York, the town we grew up in. There, we performed with the children's choir, we went to youth group, and we attended Sunday school. Church matters because at church, there's a space for kids to sing, to learn, and just to be kids. In 5th grade, I switched to Catholic school at St. Columba in Hopewell Junction, New York. There, I attended daily religion classes, as well as Mass on the first Friday of each month. I attended Catholic high school and college as well. I loved Catholic church because the music was beautiful and everything was predictable. There was an invisible agenda that everyone knew, and everyone knew when to sit and when to stand. We spoke together, we sang together, we even moved our arms at the same time. Church matters because at church, we can follow a predictable routine and everyone is included. After moving to Massachusetts and going to college and marrying Adam, I again looked for a church, and we tried out a congregational church in Holden. It was so nice, and we attended it for a couple of years before our life got super busy with soccer and everything else. I loved how the women there loved on Dylan after church, and I loved eating at the pancake breakfasts. Church matters because at church, your family is loved, and at church, your family is fed. I never had a negative experience at any of the churches I attended. I love the time with my grandparents at their church. I love singing at the church I went to in my town. I love the structure, the music, the predictability of Catholic church, and I really liked that it got us out of class a lot. I loved eating and chatting with the women at the congregational church. I know that loving every church you've been to isn't everyone's experience, but for me, I really took something good away from every church I attended. That brings me to this church, First Church. A few years ago, my sister called me, and let me qualify that by saying she is one of 2 people that I will pick up the phone for. Stop calling me Pete. She said, I think I found a church, and I think I found a church for you, and she didn't want to sound all pushy, but she actually said, I think it might be better for you than it is for me. And so I showed up. It was everything that I didn't know we needed. First Church, for my family, brought together the best parts of all of the churches I had experienced. It was a place that I could be with the people I loved for a couple of hours a week without any distractions. It was a place where my kids could be kids, as evidenced by the many pictures of Logan dancing on the altar. It was a place with a predictable routine. Here we even have printed agendas. And it was a place that would feed us ice cream sundaes mostly. The things that matter to me about First Church, though, go beyond the highlights of the other churches I've attended in my life. First Church matters because I know, no matter where life takes my kids, First Church will love them unconditionally. First Church matters because when there are hungry people in our community, church will feed them right out front, every single week, every last one. First Church matters because here when we do an Easter egg hunt, you don't have to remind the big kids to help the little kids. They know because when they were little, someone helped them. First Church matters because when there is a pandemic that forces us apart, they will overcome every obstacle to keep us together. First Church matters because here, we get so many opportunities to learn how to better love one another. We have mission trips, reverse offerings, Eat, Pray, Learn, Facebook groups so that when we can't go to church, we could still pray with each other and for each other. We can love one another even at the bar at Pub Theology. First Church matters because when kids need a place to do their remote learning under the careful watch of caring adults, we'll invent one through Facebook Messenger and Zoom, and we'll make sure those who need it can find it. First Church matters because here we run toward the sick, the hurting, the isolated, and those who need love in their life. First Church has a way of providing exactly what people need, overcoming any obstacles that might be in the way. First Church matters because here, everyone is welcome, and love is the boss of us. If you, like me, know that First Church matters, turn over your bulletins, scan the QR code, and heap some money into those offering plates when it comes your way. Or even better, set up a recurring donation online, which is good for those of us who have to split our time with the Church of Soccer. Be sure, this is a way to be sure you have a consistent donation to church, whether or not you're in the building this week.